Hey, what's going on? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and welcome to the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast, where we talk about the hottest topics in all of sports. On this edition, we're going to be talking about the 2023 schedule, and we're also going to be talking about some of the top quarterbacks taken in the 2023 draft and how they're getting situated in their new homes. But let's go ahead and get started, talk about the 2023 NFL schedule. On Thursday, May 11th, the schedules are going to be released for all 32 teams. This is always an exciting time, especially for fans, for you to be able to figure out who your team is going to play, where they're going to play, and how you possibly can make some accommodations to travel if you're into that type of stuff, or if you want to get some home cooking, which game that you're going to go to if you're not a season ticket holder. I mean, there's so many different things that go through your mind when the schedule comes out. It becomes a little bit of a holiday. Shouts out to the NFL. They have really done a really good job at promoting the schedule. I remember growing up as a kid. I mean, I didn't really care that much about the schedules and stuff like that, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, just go ahead and put it on a piece of paper or on one of them little small cards and let me know who the Saints are playing or any NFL team of that matter. But it has taken on a life of its own, and it's an exciting time. And there are reasons to be excited. For example, there are 14 playoff rematches that are going to take place this season, right? Including the rematch of last year's Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Should be an exciting game right there because it was an exciting game for the Super Bowl. You have Patrick Mahomes, who end up becoming the winner and a Super Bowl champion because of that game. But you also had Jalen Hurts, who is coming off a really good season. He got that contract extension. Congratulations to him. You know that he wants to prove that he can beat Patrick Mahomes. And the way that things are shaping up, this seems like this is going to be a battle for years to come. Hopefully, these two guys can stay healthy, because if they can, it is going to be exciting for both fan bases. You also have some other games that are going to take place. You got the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. I expect for the New York Jets to get more primetime games than they have had probably ever because Aaron Rodgers is now their quarterback, and the world wants to see Aaron Rodgers. NFL fans want to see Aaron Rodgers in the Big Apple. He came with a lot of fanfare. Aaron Rodgers in New York should be very, very interesting this entire season, because Aaron Rodgers' personality versus the New York media is a storyline all in itself. But the Jets really did some good things last season. They got some really talented young players on their team. They're going to be making that jump from year one to year two. How they're going to be able to make that transition, but it should be easier now that you got number 8, not number 12, but you got number 8. Aaron Rodgers going back to his old college days at Cal. And he's on the team right now. So the Jets, it should be a very interesting and fun game. There's also some new concepts that are coming out. You have a Black Friday game. That game will be introduced by Amazon. So you usually have like Thanksgiving games, where the Dallas Cowboys play, the Detroit Lions play. Well, now you're going to have a Black Friday game, something that they're introducing. So we're going to find out which teams are going to be taking part in that. But there's also some controversy. Teams could possibly play 2 Thursday night games. If one team can play 2 Thursday night games, and that is something that has been a hot topic for the last couple of years since the NFL has implemented the Thursday night game, because a lot of players as well as coaches and organizations feel like this is a very short turnaround for a game that they're playing on Sunday, and you're basically getting your head knocked off. You're coming in Monday, you're sore, you're tired, and now you have to turn around and play a Thursday game. So having a chance or opportunity to play those games twice in 1 year, like, I don't think a lot of football players are going to be excited about that. So that should come with some level of controversy. But nevertheless, we all love primetime games. We all love Monday night football games. We all love Thursday night, Sunday night games. So it should be really, really exciting. Looking forward to some of those matchups, that we want to see. We're expecting for teams to get better. So some of the games that we probably look at and be like, I don't know about that. might end up turning into a really good classic game. So looking forward to it. On Wednesday, they're going to announce the international games. So you have some teams that are going to be traveling across the pond, going to Europe to play. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, the Tennessee Titans, the New England Patriots, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to say that maybe one more team, but those are some of the teams that are going to be a part of this. Who they're going to play, not sure. According to some sources that I heard, that the New England Patriots more than likely will be playing the New Orleans Saints in Germany. Don't know how true that is. Just a report that I heard. Just wanted to get it back to you. But those are a few games that and few teams that are going to be taking part in some of these games. I like the whole NFL, NFL international series that they're doing. I think that the fans, across the pond are excited about it. Shouts out to the Roar of the Lions UK. I had an opportunity to be on their show on draft day and talk a little bit about the draft, but just to see how the NFL has transitioned from the United States over across the pond and developing a fan base is pretty cool. All right. And I think when you watch the games and when you see them, you see the crowd, they're extremely excited about watching the game. The last game in Germany, I mean, the game was just so exciting. The fans didn't sit down. They were chanting, they were singing the entire time. So it always creates a really good atmosphere when you have some fans that are really, really excited about the opportunity. I think fans make the games and the events what it is, right? If you have a bunch of fans just sitting on their hands and not interested, no matter how exciting a game is, it's not going to be exciting to anybody. All right. It's about the energy. It's about creating that atmosphere to make the game larger than life. So shouts out to those fans in Europe for making the games really, really exciting. So should be interested to see who those teams are going to be playing internationally. And also, lastly, I do want to mention this once again. Thursday, 8 p.m. ESPN2 will be having a 2-hour special and talking a little bit about some of the key matchups, highlighting some of those primetime games and some of those big matchups. So make sure that you tune in. The 2023 schedule should be exciting for fan bases. It symbolizes hope. It symbolizes a new beginning. No matter how bad your team was last season, they can always right the wrongs, right? They can always right the wrongs because everybody starts the season 0-0, and it all starts with who you're going to play. But let's go ahead and talk about Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, 4th pick overall in the 2023 NFL draft. Let's also talk about the other two guys that went in the top 5 at the quarterback position. Number 1 overall, Bryce Young, and also C.J. Stroud. Anthony Richardson, we're starting with him because Anthony Richardson hit the ground running. He took a part in practice a couple of days ago in Indy, and he's already making waves. The way that he's moving around, the way that he's throwing the ball, he's launching the balls down the field. Jonathan Taylor, the really good running back, the star running back up the Indianapolis Colts, said, quote, "It's about to get scary." And it could get scary. It can get very, very scary. If Anthony Richardson ends up being what a lot of the scouts expect him to be, it can be very, very dangerous. People are kind of comparing him to a guy like Josh Allen, right? A guy that comes into the league, needs to develop, needs to get a little bit better, but they're going to put things around him in order to make him better. You look at guys like Brian Daboll, right? Worked alongside Josh Allen, developed him into the quarterback that we see today. Now he's always in the MVP conversation. If Anthony Richardson can end up being in that MVP conversation, it's going to be very, very dangerous. And I think that the Indianapolis Colts fan base is going to be extremely excited about it. And, I think I got an opportunity to look at it firsthand because I went to the combine and I was able to see Anthony Richardson there and watching him and listening to the crowd, the Indianapolis crowd, as he made some of these throws and launching the ball down the field and moving around. You can really look at the fan base and they really were excited, like, man, the possibility of getting this dude. So I look at that and I know that they're going to be excited for him. They're going to embrace him. They're going to welcome him with open arms And I think that he's going to do everything he can to succeed. Everything about Anthony Richardson that I see is a guy that wants to succeed. It's not a guy that just walks around here looking like a freak of nature and just feel like everything is going to be given to him. He seems like a guy that wants to work. He's dedicating himself, and I'm interested to see like the camaraderie and the chemistry between him and Michael Pittman, him and Josh Downs, him and Jonathan Taylor, and also the offensive line being able to block for him. How is that going to pan out for a guy who can move around in the pocket? So Anthony Richardson, to me, hitting the ground running, doing all the right things. They're saying that he's a very infectious person, the smile, the swag, the confidence that he comes with. So if he can get that in practice, he can do that in practice, and he can do that on the field. Sky's the limit for this guy. So looking forward to seeing what Richardson can do in a Colts uniform. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. I don't know if they're going to let him start right away. You still got Sam Ehlinger out there. You got Gardner Minshew, who you picked up. So there's still some guys out there that can play, that can hold it down until the Colts organization, Shane Steichen, feels comfortable enough to be able to put him in the game, and he can be effective doing so. So looking forward to seeing what Anthony Richardson can do going forward, but there's no reason to try to push him out there. You can kind of slowly, gradually put him on the field when he's absolutely ready. Well, let's talk about C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud now the number 2 overall pick, went to the Houston Texans. They're very, very, very excited about it. They're very excited to have him. And he's also, according to the owners and GMs, he wasn't somebody that they were just constantly like trying to pursue. Like if the owner said, like if they would have went in a different direction, he would have been comfortable with it. And that's interesting because you look at the Houston Texans and it just seems like ever since the whole situation with Deshaun Watson, they've been on a downward spiral. You have Davis Mills, who's been out there. He's done an okay job. He's won some games for him. He's put up some big numbers, but he is not the guy that you can look at and just be like, man, this is our franchise right here. I think the answer should have always been C.J. Stroud. I don't know if I believe the owner of the Houston Texans saying that he wasn't a top priority. C.J. Stroud, to me, was a top priority. Will Anderson may have been a top priority, justifiably so. But the most important position on the field is the quarterback position. If you don't have a quarterback that can lead you anywhere, you are not going anywhere. If they can't lead you to the playoff, they can't give you that deep run. You can't look at that quarterback and say, man, this dude has what it takes to get us to the Super Bowl. You don't have a quarterback. And if you got to squint an eye or two and make this guy look like the quarterback that you want, then he's probably not the quarterback that you need. C.J. Stroud comes in. He has that confidence. He may not wow you with his arm strength. He may not wow you with everything that he can do, like, running out the pocket like he Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson or something. But what he does is everything right. And he has what it takes to really be a good quarterback. We have seen C.J. Stroud in tough situations, crucial situations where the Ohio State Buckeyes need a play. They need to do something in order to win a game, and C.J. Stroud delivers. It was not C.J. Stroud that they end up losing in the semifinals versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Was not his fault. The guy had 4 touchdown passes in a game, did everything you could possibly do to try to win, just did not happen that way. They lost by 1 point. C.J. Stroud will come in day one, will work harder, and dedicate himself to the game, right? You got yourself a really good quarterback, and if you could put some things around him in order for his light to shine, then the Houston Texans can be a playoff team. Now, I ain't going to say a Super Bowl team. That's kind of down the line now. I ain't going to give you all that. But they can be a playoff team. And finally, let's talk about Bryce Young. Number 1 overall pick to the Carolina Panthers. Seeing a video of Bryce Young in the locker room, everybody making fun of him, him dapping off Brian Burns, him looking like a small child compared to Brian Burns. Look, all these jokes aside, look, I'm pretty sure this guy has heard every short joke under the sun, but it does not bother him at all, right? Bryce Young is very confident in himself, and he's confident in his abilities. And I think that the Carolina Panthers are confident in his abilities. However, They're not just going to give him the keys to the kingdom, right? Even though the fans came out in droves, thousands upon thousands of fans, just to see number 9 walk in a suit and to bang the drum, keep pounding, right? Everybody came out there just to see their brand new spanky, brand new quarterback. Still got the Similac on his Brett, right? Brought him out there. But the Carolina Panthers organization is saying he is not the number 1 guy, right? You got Andy Dalton out there. You got Matt Corral. He is not the number 1 guy. He starts off at number 3 on the depth chart. If that ain't a way to try to humble a guy or try to get a guy motivated to go out there and perform, I don't know what is. As a New Orleans Saints fan, I can tell you right now, watched Andy Dalton quite a bit last season and left the worst taste in my mouth I've ever seen in my life. There's nothing wrong with Andy Dalton, don't get me wrong, but it's just the mediocrity that comes with him just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I like elite quarterback play. I don't need Steady Eddie, and I don't need a guy that just going to be out there to hope that he starts next week, right? And as far as Matt Corral, guy didn't get an opportunity to really show what he can do because he ended up getting injured and lost for the season. It's unfair. Matt Corral coming out of Ole Miss had some promise, did some things, even got an invite to the draft because people thought that he was going to be pretty good, but didn't pan out for him. But Matt Corral, I'm looking at him as a guy that can go out there and perform, maybe make it interesting to a point where he can end up getting traded. That's the best thing that can possibly happen to Matt Corral, in my opinion, is for him to go out there and perform well enough, and he can be used as trade bait. Go to a team that needs a quarterback. That's what I look at when it comes to Matt Corral. I'm looking at guys like Andy Dalton against Bryce Young. If Bryce Young shows what he showed us at the University of Alabama with the arm strength, with the ability to move around in the pocket, to be able to read through his progressions and deliver the ball on time at a high completion rate, he will be the starter. All this stuff is just lip service, in my opinion. I think that Frank Reich is the best coach in the NFC South. Yes, I just said that. He is the best coach in the NFC South. We've seen him do it with Nick Foles, developing quarterbacks. We've seen him do it with Carson Wentz. And I think he will do it again with Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I will be shocked if he is not the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers week 1. But those are the 3 quarterbacks that, that were picked in the top 5 of the draft. And looks like everything is on schedule. The fan bases are excited. The organizations are excited. So I want to see what these guys can do when training camp starts, when preseason starts, and most importantly, when the regular season starts. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about the 2023 schedule? What game are you looking forward to as a fan of a respected team? And also, if you're a fan of one of these organizations that got one of these spanky brand new quarterbacks, what are you looking for in a quarterback? What do you expect the season to look like for Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, or CJ Stroud? Comment down below, like and share this video. Thank you for checking out the Gumbo Pot Sports Podcast. Previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Make sure you check out the Gumbo Pot website, which is gumbopotsports.com. There you can listen to previous episodes of the Gumbo Pot Sports Podcast, and all type of content. We got news articles about the NFL. So make sure you check it out, gumbopotsports.com. Till next time, I'll see you down.